Hi, welcome back. It's so good to see you. My name is Anitra, and I have a confession. At the very beginning of the year, I made a video and I was talking about how January was going to be super intentional and try not to buy anything. I failed. I mean, I wasn't necessarily splurging and impulsing everywhere, but I certainly was not as intentional as I wanted to be. And I bought some things that I maybe wanted to buy but didn't need to buy. I kind of strayed. And guess what? That's okay. I'm a human. These things happen. I don't beat myself up about something like this. And I am a chronic overthinker, so I mean, don't get me wrong, I can beat myself up about things, but I'm not on this. What I realized is that I did not set myself up for success. So what do I mean by that? I mean, I kind of decided it at the last minute and didn't really give myself any guidelines or have you ever gone bowling? And have you ever gone bumper bowling, right? And so bumper bowling makes you, unless you're a professional bowler, typically way more successful than if you don't have those bumpers in the gutters, right? Because otherwise you can get a gutter ball, and although you still could get a gutter ball with the bumpers, if I remember correctly, because there's a little space from the end of the bumper to where the pins are that you could still get a gutter ball. But it really increases your chance of success. So I realized I needed some better bumpers or some guardrails to help me with this. So what did I decide? I decided, hey, February is going to be a no-buy month for me. And not to say that I'm not paying my bills or that if my dog needed medicine, I'm buying that stuff, right? Or if something happens and I have to go to urgent care or something, I'm doing those things, right? That is part of the parameters that I set up, is that health is really important. And my dog is my biggest responsibility, and so I'm going to do everything that he needs as well. But I'm going to use up the stuff I have in my house. I have a food budget, but I'm going to try to use it as sparingly as needed. And if I can use it not at all, even better. I'm going to be really thoughtful about the electricity that I'm using and the water that I'm using. And so just being more intentional, but also giving myself some parameters. So let's talk parameters, shall we? Parameters, and I wrote some things down, and I'm just going to read from this notebook because why memorize if I don't have to? Open book tests here. Thank you. Okay, things that I'm going to do. I am going to pay my bills. Now, I tried to pay as many of the ones I could for this month on the last day of January, and because February is a short month, a lot of them I won't have to pay until March 1st, the way billing cycles, whatever, work. With water and electric. But if they come due and I need to pay them, I'm going to pay them. Also gas. I will buy gasoline for my car if I need it. It was on full when the month started. I filled it up on the 31st. But, sometimes you have to drive places to the vet. Or I have some work travel that I may need to do. And so even though I get reimbursed by work, still need to drive, potentially. Also, I need to do an oil change, and I really don't want to wait till March. So, my dad and I are going to do it together, but I'll still need to buy the oil and the air filter. Could I have done that in January? Sure. But I'm not great with these oil thing. I need a little help and oversight. I need an assist. So I waited for my dad to be available. Other things that I'm buying. Okay, so there was one food item I wanted to pick up at Costco because I'm addicted to potato chips. I just love them. They bring me such joy. But I didn't want to go to Costco for one thing. And I need air filters for my furnace. And they are on sale this month at Costco, starting February 2nd until whenever. And also, my dog will need his dental bones. Those I get all at Costco. So I was waiting for the Costco sale to kick in so that I can get the air filters but go over in one trip. So I had decided that at the end of January when that book, the Costco book came out. I know I need air filters, and so I should get them at a deal because it's something that was on my list of things I needed. And then of course, I might have to buy stuff for work. If I travel, I think I might need to do an overnight. We're not sure. We'll see. I'm getting a hotel room. I'm not sleeping in my car. I could camp, but actually no, because then I got a meeting, and you know, you like to dress nice for a meeting. And anyway, so those are the things that are fine for me to do. Again, I didn't write on here urgent care, but if something goes on and Jet needs to go to the vet, I'll go. If I need to go to urgent care, I'll go. If there's some, you know, I don't even want to speak this into existence, but if there's some other thing that happens, the water heater, the transmission, like we'll deal with those things, but I'm not worrying about those. Those are like emergency things. Why, Anitra, would you want to do something like this? It's a great question. So a couple things. One, I want to shake up some habits that I've developed. I want to get into some different habits or give myself kind of a reset on some habits that I have developed that I don't know that are necessarily great or healthy for me. And so this will just shake it up by like kind of mandating a change in a way, but doing it kind of in a fun way or a creative way. I think it will foster creativity, like using up stuff in my pantry. I have so much food. I'm not going to be bare bones at the end of this. I still have lots of food, but I'll use what I have and be able to be creative. Also use up some things that, meals that I've made a couple months ago that are in the freezer. It's time to use those up. That way I can cook more things and freeze them. And also like reading books that I already have or doing hobbies that I already have versus like going out and finding new things. I'm going to create time by not shopping and not going to the store, except for that one trip to Costco. And I guess to buy oil. But, you know, not going to the grocery store 4 times this month will be wonderful. And I will save extra money. How many times do I impulse buy a bag of potato chips? At this point, it's not an impulse. It's like a planned, I'm not putting it on the list, but I'm going to buy it purchase. Or other things. I'll be walking by and I'm like, oh, I should get tater tots. I don't need tater tots. I have potatoes and an air fryer, so like I could make whatever. But I'll just like impulse buy them. And they don't go bad. I'll use them eventually, but were they needed? Were there other things I could buy? Could I put that money toward my mortgage or toward some other home improvement funds that I've got? Yes. So possibly saving extra money. Also, I kind of like a challenge. I like having a purpose or a focus for a time. And like I said, kind of resetting some habits and making space for new habits or making space to get rid of old habits or habits that really don't serve me anymore. So that is why I'm doing a no buy February. It's the shortest month. Set myself up for success. So far we're doing incredibly well. And the other thing that I am going to do is my monthly donations. I am not going to stop my donations. I don't have all of them on auto because the percentage and the dollar amounts fluctuate a little bit, and so I go in and do some of them manually, but I will still do those. I don't want an organization that I care about to not get my donations because I was doing this no buy. No, I still want to be generous and I want to make sure that I'm giving during this time. So that is what I'm doing. If you have tips to make a no buy month successful, I would love to hear those. Put them in the comments below if you've done it before. If you have questions, I would love to hear them. And if you feel like this is the kind of content that you would like to see more of, then go ahead and give this a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, we will see you next time. Bye.